And one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and that not even she could hold herself back because her passion burned brighter than her fears. Welcome. My name is Miranda Pierce. I'm a Pacific Northwest wife and stay-at-home mama. I am the former bling boss of Pierce's Paparazzi, and this is Making Yourself at Home. Now, after reading that quote at the beginning, I'm sure if you are like me, all I could think about is I need more things in my life that set off that kind of fire inside of me. I need things that I feel passionate about, that I get excited about. I feel like as the more we grow up, the less and less you feel that. But there's moments like that and things that make us feel those feelings that make life worth living. I don't know about you, but I get these mental barricades in the form of very familiar excuses. Like, I don't have enough time, or I don't even know where to start. Or maybe my kids, my spouse, my job, my friends need my attention more right now. Or maybe when I get or do fill in the blank, then I'll have enough time for me. Sound familiar? There is never an ideal time to learn something new or to start a new venture. Now, I don't say this to get you down, quite the opposite. I have some ideas to help. Despite all of these mental barricades, it could still be possible. One of my biggest pet peeves is the phrase having extra time. There is no such thing as extra time. All time comes at a sacrifice of something else. There is always something else that demands our time and attention these days, and especially as a woman and a mom. So we are our own biggest obstacle. Our natural tendency as human beings is fight or flight. So if something is difficult, even if it's not a life or death situation, even if it's just trying to make that time for yourself, trying out a new skill or hobby, starting a business, whatever it looks like for you, anything that's difficult, naturally we tell ourselves excuses, and we do this to protect ourselves from failing and from disappointment. Sometimes before we even get the chance to start. So choosing yourself is a conscious decision. Despite excuses, despite the obstacles that might be there. Why is it that when we promise a friend that we are going to do something, it's quite easy for us to do? It's easy because someone's holding us accountable and we want to be reliable, right? We want to be seen in that light. But when we make a promise to ourselves, it is easy to break. Why? I found for me that the way that I talk to and about myself is very important in this regard. How we feel about ourselves is reflected in how we keep commitments to ourselves. Now, that might be hard to hear, but I have 2 activities to get you started in. 1, giving yourself the love and appreciation that you need through positive self-talk. And then 2, figuring out what it is that lights you up, that makes you passionate, that gets you excited. So back to number 1, giving yourself love and appreciation through positive self-talk. This is what I have found has worked for me. When you tell yourself those excuses, you find yourself hitting that mental barricade, or if you get negative about yourself in any way, about whether or not you're capable of doing something like that, or whether you're worth giving yourself that time and space. Immediately stop. Immediately. Tell yourself 5 things that you love about yourself. This might sound super cheesy, but it works. And then find people you trust to hold you accountable. So when I first started doing this exercise, this activity, it was with my husband back when we were engaged. So he was, I don't know if we were even engaged yet. I feel like we might have just been dating. But anyways, way back 12 years ago, he was so sweet. I was really in a hard place when he met me. I had a few friendships and relationships that had really broken my confidence and my trust in myself. And I was very open about that going in. And he, again, maybe this is a theme, he tends to recognize things before I know I need it myself. He was patient with me and offered this suggestion. This is what he suggested for me to do. Every time that I started to get down on myself or make excuses, he would physically stop me and remind me, okay, 5 things. He was the reminder. But it got to a point where it became second nature. I kind of was just doing it on my own, whether or not he was there or not. And then it got to a point where, my confidence was built up enough that I didn't feel the need to have to do that, all day, every day. I wasn't thinking those negative thoughts as often. Now, I've even found in talking with other people that therapists use very similar exercises to help you connect with other people. So like with a family member, a spouse, anyone that you're struggling to find that connection with, you could do this about somebody else and gain that love and appreciation for them. Why not do it for yourself? All right, and then number 2. So this is a way to figure out what lights you up. We're going to go Marie Kondo on ourselves for a second and see what sparks joy. But obviously, not just physical things, making it a little broader. So one thing that I have tried is making a list of all the things that make you happy throughout the day. That is like one of my mottos, especially since doing my jewelry business. That notion of celebrating everything, even those little itty bitty small victories, makes it larger in your mind. It helps you to find joy and helps those good things hold more weight. And then the next step after you write that list is do the things that are on that list. Do more of those things on your list. Make sure you schedule it and make it a conscious decision to add more joy in your day to day. And then from there, you can kind of gauge some of the things that make you happy and build off of them. You can recognize, okay, well, I'm really good. Like this is just an example. Say for me, I love music, all things music. I love performing music. I love listening to music. It makes me happy. So it might be something I add to my day to day to schedule in, like make sure I have music on when I'm journaling or doing dishes, or maybe it's taking 10 minutes to sit down at the keyboard, starting small, make it just 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Make it attainable and playing, practicing. And then the more you do this, you can revisit the activity again and be more specific. It doesn't have to be just what makes you feel joy throughout your day. It could be What brings you joy in your job? What brings you joy in motherhood? What brings you joy in a specific goal you're trying to accomplish? And in that, it'll help you bring more purpose to your intentions and to what the decisions you make. Don't overthink it. That's the biggest piece of advice that I could give. Is just don't overthink it. I have realized in thinking about this topic that this is so important even as adults. I think it's so easy to have the time and the space to grow and to try new things and to just do the things that you love when you're a kid and you have all these big dreams, and that fire kind of goes out or gets put on the back burner the older we get, when we become parents. And then you kind of have to like really sit and think, like, are those things that I used to love, like, do they still bring me joy? Are they still worth my time? So this is just a place to start, to know that you're worth it, and then to reevaluate what it is that truly brings you joy in this season of your life. Because it might have changed, and that's okay. No, you know yourself best. I know that it doesn't always feel like that, but you are capable of loving and committing to yourself. Just start small. Start scared and start today. Don't wait any longer. Know that I am in your corner. Thank you guys so much for listening. And thank you so much for listening to our launch last week. It is truly it's been a long time since my heart has been so happy and I've been so excited about something. So thank you so much for all of your love and support so far. Please feel free to check out my socials. And we have our own podcast Instagram. If you haven't checked that out yet, make sure you do. And feel free to connect with me on there. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's something that you would like to be featured on our podcast, any topic ideas. Tune in next Thursday for another episode and have the best week.